It's time for Tiger Talk with head coach Jeff Tannehill and Stewart Shelby, live on the Neville Tiger Network. Tiger Talk's presented by Go Family Health, Melvyn's Restaurant on Oliver Road, Darren Moody, State Farm Agent, Cartown, Martinez Chiropractic, and Tenori's on Louisville. Now let's head out to Melvyn's Restaurant with head coach Jeff Tannehill and Stewart Shelby.
All right, everybody, welcome into this week's edition of Tiger Talk. Stewart Shelby alongside Neville head football coach Jeff Tannehill. We're live at Melvin's as we are every Wednesday night at 6:30 during football season here on Forsyth Avenue. But, Jeff, congratulations. First round win, 50-0 over the Peabody War Horses. It got me a little bit.
Yeah, thank you, Stewart. I appreciate it. It was a great effort by our kids, and, I can't ask for – a better outcome after that week one playoff. I mean, I think we played well in all phases, and most of all the young guys got to play, and JV guys got to play, and they've been deprived of a little football because of COVID this year. But I was proud of the fact they got to play just about an entire half.
Well, you come back right in the Peabody comes up, and it didn't take you long. I mean, they get the football, and defense took over.
Yeah, absolutely. We drove down, had a turnover inside the red zone, and then we, popped out about 2 plays later and pick six.
Yeah.
Again, the defense has bailed us out all year, and they've played steady, and we're going to have to continue that this week.
Yeah, tough test, and the second round opponent, a familiar one of recent history is Westgate. Another set of Tigers comes to Forsyth Avenue at Bill Ruppel Stadium next week. Tough. Last year, I mean, a 26-24 victory. It sealed kind of at the end. That ball game wasn't over until I think it was Griffin McGee made that tackle.
Andrew Cagle.
Sorry,
yeah.
Andrew Cagle. Cagle.
They play a lot alike.
They remind me of each other. But Cagle, rather, made that tackle there at the end to kind of solidify that win with a few seconds left.
It was definitely a football game. I'm sure the fans got their money's worth. I felt like we dominated that whole first half, and then came out in the second half and had a few turnovers that kind of let them back in the game. And we didn't capitalize on a few things in the first half that we, if we'd have scored there, and we missed a field goal, I think, in the first drive. And there's a lot of things happened bad, but our kids, just like they have all year this year, they overcame some adversity, came back, settled in, played some really good football. Defense bailed us out again, and, it just happened that we moved on to the semifinals.
Well, real quick, before we get into the highlights from Friday night's game versus Peabody, everybody in the ticket booth want to let me know. There's 100 tickets left. 100 tickets left on the number. They'll be open from 11 to 1. Tomorrow at the stadium in the ticket office. So 100 tickets left. Come get them. We need to fill the bill as much as we possibly can. Fill it to 25% capacity because this isn't your typical second-round opponent that's coming up this Friday night, and we'll talk about them later on in the show. But you need to be out there. These boys have put in a lot of work, understand where it is, but there's a reason why there's 25% capacity, and I believe we should sell this thing out.
Yeah, well, I want to remind all of our box, those people that's had the boxes for forever since the stadium's been built. Their family, they inherited it from their parents and stuff like that. It's been in there about 50 years or so. Remind those guys, if you don't have them done by a certain period of time, and I think it's Thursday, then we're going to sell that to somebody else for that game, not for the year, just for that game. Just so that we have the maximum tickets sold as we can. So, guys, that you have a box, come on out and get your tickets, and come see the game in person. It's only 25%, but it's still a good crowd for a good home game. And there's nothing like watching the Tigers play in Bill Ruppel Stadium.
You're right. So, all right, that's this Friday night at 7:00. It's Neville versus Westgate. But let's get back to Peabody, a game the Tigers won 50-0, fairly easily over the War Horses, but you saw some sparks. Defense and special teams, maybe the most overwhelming stat of the game from last week, scoring 20 of your 41 opening or first half points. And it all started off, as you mentioned, Tigers drive down there, throw a pick there close to going into the end zone, but the next play out, Griffin McGee picks one off and takes it to the house.
Oh, yeah. Right here, we get good pressure on the quarterback. I mean, we just about sacked him, and then he throws it over there, and Griffin McGee, perfect, place to be. Catches it, runs it back in. That's his second touchdown in the last 2 games. So, so he scored 14 points. So he's done a great job all year, and the pressure came, when we brought Hinton Roberts in a B gap there, and our end Dexter Walker got good protection.
Yeah, the quarterback Lyles was running for his life all night long, and we'll see that coming up in a couple of more highlights. And you score right there, and then you force Peabody into another bad deal. But you have the next score, I believe, is set up by this Dexter Robinson catch, right?
Oh, yeah. Great throw and catch right here by Brett. Perfect route run by Dexter. Gets all the way down to about the 3-yard line. Then we punch it in, to make it, I think, 14-0 at that point. And, I think Brett's really improved over the last couple of weeks throwing the football. We've worked really hard at it. We know people are going to try to stop the run, and we've been trying to get our guys on a lot better timing and throwing on time and all that kind of stuff.
Well, and he definitely looked better throwing the foot after that first one. He threw a little bit behind.
Yeah, he tried to be a little too perfect with it instead of throwing it, let him run to it. But I mean, that's just that's just experience.
That's right.
Coming, getting experience and just working hard at it. He's doing a good job.
But his next throws were on the money, and then right after that Dexter Robinson catch, Timmy Bird capitalizes here from the 3.
Oh, yeah, we got a great push with our offensive line. And, of course, A.J. and Timmy Bird had an unbelievable year this year with their rushing stats, and he just punches in right there. They both got a nose for the end zone.
They do. And you talk about we mentioned the defense. This is one of 2 safeties right here. And this was kind of an interesting play call. And to set this up, the previous play was a intentional grounding in the end zone, which is a safety, and we were
Coach Lewis and I both argued that the entire time, thinking that's got to be a safety. It's got to be a safety, And of course, at that point, you're just trying to get the game moving, and arguing it too much is kind of out of the question. So the next play, they come back and throw a swing pass in their end zone, which was kind of questionable. But Mario Milam comes out of the safety position, reads it perfectly, makes it tackle, and so right now, it's 9-0 the defense plus 7 of the offense.
Yeah, the offense has got it.
So I mean, our defense is playing lights out. So it's got to continue this week, obviously.
And then 16 points. It's 16-0, and then they have the free kick, and then Timmy Bird is back there.
And they kicked it directly to him.
That was a mistake.
That was a mistake. I was going to bring pictures tonight, but Skip and Coach Wise presented them with the Happy Meals. We used to
the Happy Meals.
We used to offer steak dinners. Never got a kick out. We offered a Happy Meal. I don't know, in 09 or something like that. Boom, next game, popped it for a touchdown. So everybody got a Happy Meal. So now that's what I offer every year is Happy Meals. So that's our first one of the year to return all the way to the house. And the kids, they eat it up. But I mean, it's just something to just a little bit of help goes a long ways.
Well, everybody loves a Happy Meal.
Oh, it makes everybody happy.
That's right. There you go. Hopefully they took the toys out of the wrappers and kept them out of those guys' hands. All right, so after Bird returns that for a TD, Peabody gets it back, and here's another defensive stop for a loss. On the 3rd down stop, I believe, right there.
Hitting came off the edge there, forced him back inside. And I really couldn't tell who made that play, but it was a really good play. Do you have who made that play?
I think that was Dexter Walker.
Dexter Walker. It looked like 51. I didn't think we had an 11, but 51. Dexter and Elam have both played tremendous all year. They just great speed off the edge, and they really put on some strength this year where they can hunker down and take on some kick-out blocks, and they've done a great job for us.
Well, you get the ball back and then kind of throw in a little bit fun play right here is the throwback pass as A.J. hits Batterford right there.
Yep. Well, I don't like Battleford dancing a whole lot right there, but
you ready for him to go and get down?
You know, the first play I think I watched to their film, I said, "Look at that, guys," and I said that's a throwback waiting to happen. It's something you can put on film to, kind of hold their backside rush and everything. So we put that in there. Had a 16-0 lead, and we had a little razzle dazzle, as Miss McGee at Subway likes to call it, and. I guess that would have been the razzle-dazzle play
of the game. That was, yes.
But, AJ throws the football great, and, we want to try to use him, anytime we can to on a halfback pass, and that was just a great opportunity. Put it on film and
just one more thing for somebody to think about.
And Brett's a good athlete. He can run and catch the football, so,
It worked out good right there. And then another little wrinkle that you put in there is this Wildcat package with Zeb.
Well, we try to get Zeb the football. He's a good athlete. He's tough, hard-nosed. He runs hard with the football. He needs to protect it a little bit better than that right there. But he, we try to get him the ball, as many times as we can and get him in some space and let him use his athleticism. So he did it. I think he had like 81 yards, 91 yards.
I think he was actually the leading rusher for the Tigers. And that was just – he had some big plays. Timothy Bird ended up maybe like 21 yards, and it was just –
But he had a kickoff return, too.
He had a kickoff return for a touchdown. Not total, but from scrimmage. But it was just kind of where he was when he was in the game. I mean, he had great field position all night, and it kind of got out of hand there pretty early in there. And after that Wildcat, the next time you have Tigers forced to punt, and then there's some punt coverage. I'm sorry,
we're being corrected here.
That's right. And then we had a penalty. So Tigers were first to punt. I think the only punt of the night for the first team right here. And here's a good get there by Burkhalter.
Yeah, he drops it down in there inside. Jalen does a great job covering him, and I believe that's Sam Phoenix. Both were in great position there. Jalen, used his head there and played a little football smarts and down it on the one, didn't let it go in the end zone.
Yeah, other than the obvious, but Peabody never had a chance with any good field position. It seemed like the entire game. I mean,
that's the way you try to draw it up.
Exactly, but they never had a shot. You pinned them inside the 10 multiple times after scores, and they just never had a chance to get back in the ball game. So after that great punt coverage right there on the one, then I've seen the Tigers get a safety in a few games, but I don't think I was trying to remember them getting two. But here comes safety number 2.
Oh, yeah. That's Lane Blue right there. Our POW, him and Hinton Roberts both. But it's great pressure from the outside by Dexter and Elam that forced the quarterback to step up in the pocket, and both linebackers standing there waiting on him. It's a great play call by Coach Lewis, and, our defense scores again. This may be one of the top scoring defenses we've had here in a long, long time, just by, it's a lot of field position and just, the heck of a job that the secondary is doing, and once they catch it, they're just like one of our receivers. They're athletic, and can run with the football. So, they've done a great job this year, and like I said, scored more points. They're close to catching offense, I think.
Well, you get that safety, and we're gonna kind of stop it there. There's got a lot more highlights to go here, but we're gonna have to do that after we take a break. We're talking Neville football with Coach Tannehill live at Melvin's right here on the Neville Tiger Network. We'll be right back.
The used car giants are bringing something massive to the Twin Cities. One-click online purchasing. Visit usedcargiants.com. Choose the car you want from CarTown's huge inventory and buy it with one click. CarTown, the used car giants.
Come by Melvin's Restaurant before and after the game for the best burgers and ribeyes in town. Melvin's Restaurant are proud supporters of the Neville Tigers and are home to Tiger Talk with Jeff Tannehill every Wednesday night. Come by Melvin's Restaurant, located on 1128 Oliver Road in Monroe, or call them at 318-325-2055. That's Melvin's Restaurant in Monroe.
Having back trouble? Well, Dr. Scott Martinez at Martinez Chiropractic may be able to help you out. Why don't you give him and his friendly staff a call 654-4310 to set up your next chiropractic appointment. Martinez Chiropractic is located at 1828 Tower Drive in Monroe. Scott Martinez is a former Neville Tiger and supports all of Neville athletes.
Let Tenori's own Louisville help you with your special gift needs, offering a wide variety of products to make any Tiger happy. Go visit Tenori's, located at 801 Louisville Avenue, or give them a call at 318-325-4100. That's Tenori's on Louisville.
Hey Neville Tiger Nation, this season if you find yourself feeling a little under the weather, visit Go Family Health on North 18th Street. They cover flu shots, sports physicals, sick visits, annual visits, or if nothing is wrong, they can do your regular checkup. Go Family Health has a happy staff, clean office, and they can take care of all your family's health care needs.
This is Tiffany Terra with Go Family Health. We love our Neville Tigers, and we want to thank all of Neville Nation for always supporting Go Family Health.
The used car giants are back, and they're crushing the competition, crushing high prices, and crushing bad credit. And they're bringing something even bigger. One-click online purchasing. Visit usedcargiants.com. Choose the car you want from CarTown's huge inventory and buy it with one click.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to Tiger Talk with Neville head football coach Jeff Tannehill. We're live at Melvyn's Restaurant, like we are every Wednesday night, starting at 6:30, and invite everybody to come out and join us and watch the live broadcast in person and see the good people here at Melvyn's Restaurant. So where we left off, Tigers with safety number 2, and free kick gives the Tiger offense another chance. And A.J. Allen with a nice TD run right here.
You know, good field position all night, by the defense and our special teams. Get in there and following Gilberto Quinones and Will right there behind them. And, at this point it's kind of
it's rolling.
Shove them through, and I think we start subbing right after that. But, A.J. and T-Bird have been, solid all year for us, and our offensive line has done a tremendous job. And, we really hadn't – I still don't think we've reached that potential that we can get to with those guys. But we're steadily working on it. We've had a good day. Today was a really good day of practice, and hopefully we'll get going this weekend.
Before you did, Bill Quarius gets in on the action with a nice catch and a nice throw as well here from Batterfield.
Well, this is probably one of Brett's. Is this the touchdown?
Yes, the touchdown.
The play right before this was probably, Brett's best throw of the year, and this was just a heck of a throw and a great catch by Bill there, just being athletic. And that's what we got to use him for. He's 6'2" or 3" and got long arms and good hands. And so, we get down inside that red zone a lot of times. We like to use him to get the ball. Just a disadvantage for the defense.
You got there, and I think you were sitting at like 43-0 after Bill's TD catch right there. And, then you go into half, and it's very rare, even in the playoffs or not, to start being able to sub there even late in the second quarter, but any round. But when you come back out for half, it's virtually the JV unit coming out there to get things going, and a few bright spots on defense. There's Rudy Dozier with a nice stop in the backfield.
Rudy's really improved this year. Coach Carr's done a great job with the linebackers, and Rudy's come a long way since the beginning of the year. In that second quarter, we used a lot of guys that play some for us on the ones. And that's really and truly, that entire second quarter was those guys that play. Just may not be a starter, but they play quite a bit, and they work with the ones. And we got a lot of reps with those guys. And then in the second half, we got the reps with the other guys, the JV guys, Rudy and some of those, which Rudy works with the ones some too. But, got a lot of work in with those younger kids that rarely get to play,
Well, and it was a good stop. And then another Nick Gibson little fumble recovery right here.
Was this Nick that got the fumble? Yeah, it's a different one. Yeah, Nick's done a great job for us. He's been in for, injured Kareem Moore.
Yeah.
And he's played really well since he's been in. And they'll continue to split time. Kareem's not 100% yet. But Nick's really gotten a lot better when he's gotten a lot of reps here the last couple of weeks.
Definitely has. And then Sam Phoenix, this was maybe my favorite play of the game, is Sam getting this TD run in. And you talk about running hard.
Yeah.
There he goes, bounces off a couple of war horses and into the end zone, and he was fired up.
Well, he should be. That dude works as hard or harder than anybody, the ones, the twos, the threes, whatever. He's been our scout player of the week on numerous occasions on both sides of the ball. He plays on all our special teams. He does everything we ask him to do and then some. And I was proud of him the other night. He got probably, 10 or 12 carries and scored him a touchdown and just about scored another one. So,
he almost scored another one.
He's done a great job, and we really enjoyed him helping our team this year.
Definitely has. And then just really to cap it off, another fumble here by Peabody. I believe this is going to just do it.
I tell you, that's great pressure right there.
Actually a sack.
By I believe that was who is
92. That's Fobbs
White. We talked about him last week. That was Fobbs White, and then Cedric Johnson sitting right there. At the defensive line to make that recovery, So even our young guys, got some turnovers, made some plays. It was a good night to be a Tiger in Bill Ruppel Stadium.
Well, a nice 50-0 win. Anytime you hang 50 on an opponent.
Yeah. Our two offense scored.
And both your two offense scored there at the end. You had the.
Briard and Ablett had a field goal.
Had a field goal there at the end to kind of cap it off. But you're right. The JV offense with 10 points there in the second half, and they were talking about that. They've been talking about it all week. Anytime they get
young
a chance.
Guys get in,
That's right.
They talk a lot, and they like to be in the discussion of what went on Friday nights, and that's all. That's part of it. That's part of the experience of playing football here in Neville, and those guys like Sam and Brooks and Rudy and those guys. I mean, it's just something that they've been growing up wanting to do.
Yeah, you're right about that. So after that, 50-0, your score last week versus Peabody to move right in the bracket. And so let's get to some of the players that kind of stood out not only in the game but also in practice last week.
Our defensive POWs, Nietzsche Sledge, I'll spit it out in a minute. Nietzsche Sledge on the D-line had a good game. Jalen Blackston had a really good game the other night. He's really coming on and being, when we go 4 high, he's really the other guy that we bring in and does a good job. And then Lane Blue was our POW for the week. Our offensive scout guy this week that scouts for the defense, freshman Jay-Sean White. He's been great at practice. He's given us a good look. He's
had a couple of nice runs last Friday night.
And he, he's done a great job helping us out doing that. And then, he's going to be a really good player. Offensively, Will Campbell was on the O-line. A.J. Allen, I'm sorry, hold on. I'm leaving somebody out. Sam Phoenix was our skill player of the week, and then A.J. Allen was the POW on offense. And then our special teams player – no, I want to leave DJ out. Our scout defensive player of the week, DJ Jackson.
Yeah.
My man, DJ Jackson. He comes with a great attitude. He's a lot like Sam. He comes with a great attitude every day to practice and gives us a good look on defense. And then special teams player of the week, and I thought he had a tremendous night the other night against Peabody. It was Brandon Bullard, and he had a couple tackles on kickoff. And so he's a senior that, he's not a starter, but he gets to play on special teams, and he gives everything he has and does a great job at it.
Well, like you said, big win on Friday night against Peabody, 50-0, and we're going to talk to the defensive player of the week, Lane Blue, here in just a second. So we're going to slide you out of the chair. We're going to talk to Lane here, but not before we take a break right here on Tiger Talk. We'll be right back.
The used car giants are back, and they're crushing the competition, crushing high prices, and crushing bad credit. And they're bringing something even bigger. One-click online purchasing. Visit usedcargiants.com. Choose the car you want from CarTown's huge inventory and buy it with one click.
Let Tenori's own Louisville help you with your special gift needs. offering a wide variety of products to make any Tiger happy. Go visit Tenori's, located at 801 Louisville Avenue, or give them a call at 318-325-4100. That's Tenori's on Louisville. Come by Melvyn's Restaurant before and after the game for the best burgers and ribeyes in town. Melvyn's Restaurant are proud supporters of the Neville Tigers and are home to Tiger Talk with Jeff Tannehill every Wednesday night. Come by Melvyn's Restaurant, located on 1128 Oliver Road in Monroe, or call them at 318-325-2055. That's Melvyn's Restaurant in Monroe.
The used car giants are bringing something massive to the Twin Cities. One-click online purchasing. Visit usedcargiants.com. Choose the car you want from CarTown's huge inventory and buy it with one click. CarTown, the used car giants.
Having back trouble? Well, Dr. Scott Martinez at Martinez Chiropractic may be able to help you out. Why don't you give him and his friendly staff a call, 654-4310, to set up your next chiropractic appointment. Martinez Chiropractic is located at 1828 Tower Drive in Monroe. Scott Martinez is a former Neville Tiger and supports all of Neville athletes.
Hey Neville Tiger Nation, this season if you find yourself feeling a little under the weather, visit Go Family Health on North 18th Street. They cover flu shots, sports physicals, sick visits, annual visits, or if nothing is wrong, they can do your regular checkup. Go Family Health has a happy staff, clean office, and they can take care of all your family's health care needs.
This is Tiffany Terra with Go Family Health. We love our Neville Tigers, and we want to thank all of Neville Nation for always supporting Go Family Health.
And we're back right here on Tiger Talk from Melvyn's Restaurant. And as you can see sitting beside me, this is Tiger senior linebacker number 5, Lane Blue, joining us, man. Lane, welcome to Tiger Talk, man. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
Well, you know, we were talking in the break, and you started off this year, and a lot of the word was that you're going to play some linebacker, play a little running back, and do a little bit of both. And but you turned out, I mean, I liked seeing you running the ball, but you kind of just, it seemed like that linebacker slot just fit you pretty well.
Yes, sir. I know I was built for it, but, I mean, I used to play running back a lot. You know, I have a lot of experience at it, but, you know, I like to learn new things.
Well, it's sometimes funner to hit people than to get hit, right?
That's true.
So as you kind of come in that linebacker position, you know, very talented in the offensive backfield, but we're also talented at linebacker. I mean, you and Hinton have can do some damage back there. It's been fun to watch.
Well, thank you, sir.
Well, I mean, you know, I mean, as you come through there, I mean, not only, you know, I believe size and you can move as a running back. I mean, you're above average speed there for a linebacker, but I think y'all just have an innate nose for the football.
Yeah, you know, I think I pick up a lot of it from when I used to play running back. I see a lot of it's kind of the close same. I know what they're wanting to look for, so I kind of can – I see,
got you.
You know.
That's not a bad I guess that's not a bad way to look at it. You know, you start seeing where they're blocking schemes, and then you know kind of how to counterattack that. Well, look, some big hits this year. Get some pretty big guys. You know, I mean, you've played through Ruston, West Monroe. I mean, even with Leesville, Bastrop with some big guys up front. And, you know, how do you kind of deal with that? You know, it's a long season.
Yes, sir. I know. I mean, it's changed a lot since 1A. You know, I'm used to competing against a lot of smaller guys. But, you know, coming into a lot of people were like, you know, speed's going to be way faster. And, you know, just being around all these kids every day, it's not that big of a challenge, you know. Mm-hmm. So I think my offensive line is what helps me the most, because I think, you know, especially against Will, you know, he's going to give you a lot of competition.
Yeah.
So.
Well, so Westgate, okay, we got through Peabody, and you had a safety against Peabody. Is that your first safety?
Yes, sir.
That you got right there? That was the first time I've ever seen the Tigers get 2 in a game. So, well, that's a good deal on the safety. But you know, Westgate last year it was a tough game from start to finish. It looks like it's kind of shaping up to be that same way. They don't have the kind of superstar guys like Butte and they had last year on the offensive side of the football. But they've got a couple of good ones. They got a big tight end / athlete. He lines up all over the field, number 6. And then I just see a kind of a decent size, aggressive line and a nice little running attack.
They got a lot of good school players.
Yeah, they do.
A lot of good ones.
So as far as, what you've seen on tape, you got a lot of good skill players. What do you think is the most important thing that y'all have to do from maybe a linebacking standpoint against Westgate this Friday night?
As widespread as they are, we're just going to have to communicate. That's what we've learned throughout the week. When we're not communicating with each other, we kind of see where we mess up. And so that's what we've really learned this week is we really have to focus on, communicating that way because they're motioning and doing everything else. We really have to know what our blind side and what the people are doing on our blind side.
Well, you've got maybe the most talented defensive backfield collectively I've seen at Neville in a long time. And maybe talking about them, knowing that they kind of have your back allows y'all to take maybe a few more chances, maybe bring a couple extra guys up, to put pressure on quarterbacks that like to throw the football. And I think this quarterback, they balance it a little bit, but allowing you to fill maybe some more gaps because you've got a little help in the defensive backfield.
Yeah, I kind of stay in between, not get too deep but not stay too close.
Just kind of hover around the line of scrimmage and see where it's going, huh?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's good. Cherry picking a little bit right there. Well, so, being here at Neville, it's not your typical year. A lot of the things that we're not doing, there's the pep rallies and everything else. But, getting in Bill Ripple Stadium in the locker room and things like that, I mean, how have you adjusted? Was it a big adjustment or anything?
Well, I just, I listen to everybody, what they're saying. I realize that everything's based on tradition.
Yeah.
And so, you kind of just see what everybody's doing and you go from there.
Well, I've definitely enjoyed watching you play this year. Your progression as a linebacker is impressive. I know you might want to run the football a little bit more. I'd like to see you do that as well.
It's all right.
But you got a couple of good backs back there. It's a hard backfield to crack into.
Yeah, they're really good. I mean, their speed is unbelievable.
Yeah. And so those guys right there, and every now and again you might want to deliver a blow. It might need to put you in there if somebody's giving those guys a little trouble and being the enforcer. In the backfield.
Being 250 pounds kind of helps.
Yeah, I know. That's the load at the fullback position. But look, hey, Lane, good luck Friday night. We look forward to watching you Friday night and hopefully for a few more weeks to come.
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks for joining us. All right, everybody, Lane Blue, number 5, the senior linebacker for the Tigers, has joined us. And coming up next, we'll have the defensive coordinator, Benjy Lewis, making his first visit this year to Tiger Talk. And he's going to have a little bit more insight onto the Westgate Tigers that'll be at Bill Ripple Stadium. Don't forget, 100 tickets left. They'll be open 11 to 1 at the ticket office. So get there early and get your tickets so we can at least fill the bill to the capacity that the governor will allow us to fill it to. So come on out from 11 to 1 and see the good people in the ticket booth, Mr. Gregory and his gang in there. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Neville defensive coordinator Benjy Lewis up next, right here in Tiger Talk.
The used car giants are bringing something massive to the Twin Cities. One-click online purchasing. Visit usedcargiants.com. Choose the car you want from CarTown's huge inventory and buy it with one click. CarTown, the used car giants.
Let Tannehill on Louisville help you with your special gift needs, offering a wide variety of products to make any Tiger happy. Go visit Tannehill, located at 801 Louisville Avenue, or give them a call at 318-325-4100. That's Tannehill on Louisville.
Hey Neville Tiger Nation, this season if you find yourself feeling a little under the weather, visit Go Family Health on North 18th Street. They cover flu shots, sports physicals, sick visits, annual visits, or if nothing is wrong, they can do your regular checkup. Go Family Health has a happy staff, clean office, and they can take care of all your family's health care needs.
This is Tiffany Terra with Go Family Health. We love our Neville Tigers, and we want to thank all of Neville Nation for always supporting Go Family Health.
Having back trouble? Well, Dr. Scott Martinez at Martinez Chiropractic may be able to help you out. Why don't you give him and his friendly staff a call, 654-4310, to set up your next chiropractic appointment. Martinez Chiropractic is located at 1828 Tower Drive in Monroe. Scott Martinez is a former Neville Tiger and supports all of Neville athletes.
The used car giants are back, and they're crushing the competition, crushing high prices, and crushing bad credit. And they're bringing something even bigger. One-click online purchasing. Visit usedcargiants.com. Choose the car you want from CarTown's huge inventory and buy it with one click.
Come by Melvyn's Restaurant before and after the game for the best burgers and ribeyes in town. Melvyn's Restaurant are proud supporters of the Neville Tigers and are home to Tiger Talk with Jeff Tannehill every Wednesday night. Come by Melvyn's Restaurant, located on 1128 Oliver Road in Monroe, or call them at 318-325-2055. That's Melvyn's Restaurant in Monroe.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Melvyn's Restaurant. Stewart Shelby, now joined by Neville defensive coordinator Benjy Lewis. And Benjy, welcome to the video version of Tiger Talk.
Yeah,
Talked to you
man,
plenty of times, man.
This is new, looking and seeing, the cameras and everything, man. This is awesome.
Yeah, you can watch. You just don't watch yourself. It's hard to
I know,
sit there on that TV screen
right.
and look at but you can never get it. Every time you turn around, you can't ever get it. So a big defensive, you pitched a shutout in the first round of the playoffs against Peabody, and we were talking at the break. I mean, you had a couple of safeties, which we can't remember if that's ever happened.
That's not happened. 2011 is when I got here, and it hadn't happened.
Yeah, so a 10-year span, we hadn't
right.
had that, and special teams had touchdowns, and I think Peabody, even at the end, only had less than right around maybe a total about 90 yards of total offense.
That's
so
right.
it was a heck of a performance for the first round. So the guys were ready to play.
We really, we really are proud. We talked about that, Monday briefly in our intro meeting. We don't want to spend too much time on that. We got to focus on a big second-round opponent in Westgate. But, yeah, we were so proud, man. We continue to show growth at these positions that we had question marks at the beginning of the year. Our backfield, I heard you say a while ago, is really turned into something that's a thing of pride for us. To say week one that we had that kind of confidence in it, we didn't. These guys have grown into some great players. They've been aided. Of course, we felt like with who we had at linebacker with Lane and Hinton having a year of experience that we would have, a plus there at that position. We didn't know how our ends would grow and how they would develop. And we've become a solid defensive unit. So we look forward to the challenge going forward.
It's definitely, and you talk about challenges. I mean, Westgate, I've been watching film on them as well. I'm sure you have too.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put that past you.
Yeah,
a
little bit,
but just a little bit. So, last year gave the Tigers all they wanted, and it was a defensive stop that sealed the deal last year. But this year, maybe not as many star power type guys like the Bouttes that we talked about, but you've got some very talented junior. I know number 6 is there. The quarterback's a 2-year starter, even though he's only a junior, and he likes to run the football. They're really talented at the skill position and very physical up front.
Yeah, it all starts, I guess if you had to call it bell cows, number 6, Danny Lewis. He wore number 18 last year as a tight end, a big kid, I think he's a kid with a Virginia offer, maybe another offer, so he's kind of turned that and parlayed that into some offers and a college football player. Big body guy that they split out more than they did last year. They like getting the ball to him. They feel like he's a mismatch for pretty much anybody that he lines up on, size-wise, physicality-wise, so they try to get the ball to him a lot. They also think a lot of their running back, number 5, Sophus is his last name.
Yeah.
Kevion Sophus, that's right. Listening to the coach over, various forms of social media, he said that's this year's Butte.
Really?
And you can tell they split him out. They do a lot of things with him. He's a good back. I don't know if he's Butte. There's not a lot of those running around, but he does a good job, and he carries
maybe as important as Butte was to their offense.
He's a tool. He is a tool that they use in a lot of ways. They've got one of the smaller receivers that we'll have seen this year, but maybe one of the quickest too. And number 13, that's Jordan Doucette.
Mm-hmm.
They use him a lot to try to stretch people downfield, which is kind of odd to have a guy that's short and small, but they'll do it with him. And then they round it out with number 12, Cookie is his nickname, as I've read it. That is Jaqueline Allen. They call him Cookie Allen. And I think he's probably another guy that they use in a lot of different ways. It's one of their better all-around athletes. That coupled out with they have 3 returning starters on the offensive line, a center that's always good to have come back, a center, and they have 2 guards, I believe, that both are returning starters. So they return those 5 guys on offense, and they feel good about it. They probably spread the ball out more this year than they did last year.
Yeah, it was kind of singled out.
Sure.
They were getting it to Butte, maybe a little quarterback run here and there, try to slip something by you, but it was kind of live and die by the big guy, the LSU commit, and you've seen what he's done.
That's right.
At LSU. That's when the rare times that LSU's actually scored this year.
That's right.
But no knock against anything. But you've. Starting your defense from start to finish, and we're not going to get past Westgate. I mean, a big-time team. A lot of people say, 13 seed, second round of the playoffs.
Right.
This isn't your typical second-round matchup. They're out of New Iberia. They play a tough schedule.
That's right.
Their loss was to 5A New Iberia and then St. Thomas More, and who've arguably one of the best teams in the state in any class.
That's right.
And then the other one was
Karen Crow.
Yeah, Karen Crow.
Number 1
was
seed.
the number 1 seed here. So that Lafayette 4A district is a tough district. I mean, it's maybe one of the toughest in the state, top to bottom.
I mean, there's years top to bottom. When Turlings has really got it going on, that they're 4 or 5 teams deep within the 2 playoffs that are going to go quarterfinals or deeper. And Westgate's kind of carved their niche out in that district and become a team to be reckoned with the last 2 or 3 years. Of course, they had Butte and Son, but they're carrying it on. They've got a tough defense. They got a defensive coordinator. I didn't know. I'm not familiar with a lot of their coaches, but their defensive coordinator played for the Saints. I think he played defensive tackle maybe for the Saints. So they've got a good coaching staff that they've kind of parlayed into some wins, some playoff runs, and they're trying to get in there and mix it up with the big boys in that Lafayette district.
Well, they definitely are. They gave Karen Crow all they wanted at the last week of the regular season. That's a game I listened to, and they were in it. They were up, leading it in the second half, and then kind of just had a few little hiccups there at the end, or they'd have been they were right there in that football game in the fourth quarter. So when you're talking about the number 1 seed and dropping to 13, it was just because of those 3 losses that did it. They add a couple of games, they're going to be into that top 10 or really maybe the top 6, depending on who they were going to play. So a lot of people didn't know anything about Westgate on Forsyth Avenue coming in last year, and they definitely, if they were at that game, they knew, they kind of respected them a little bit more, and this is not going to be a case of the Tigers overlooking them this year.
No, not at all. They've got our full undivided attention, man. We think a lot of what they're doing. You can definitely, you don't have to look long on film to see athletes and see what they can do in space when they get the ball to them. You can see what the quarterback does, not only with his arm but with his feet. And you just have to – that's the thing about a spread offense. It's called that for a reason. It spreads your defense thin all over the field. Luckily, we've got playmakers, and we have to make those plays, man. We have to be able to make plays in space to be in this game and be successful as we've been accustomed to defensively this week.
Well, it's going to take an all-out defensive effort, and, Coach Lewis is doing a great job this year, one of the best defensive squads we've seen.
Sir.
You put together a heck of a bunch, and we appreciate all your hard work in that.
Yeah, man, I couldn't do it without my assistant coaches. Those guys, they work those long hours with me. I thank them. I thank their families, their wives for sure for letting them do it. And I thank these young men for week in and week out believing in what I put out there. and just to execute in that game plan, man, it's a blessing.
Well, look, good luck Friday night.
Thank you, man.
Thanks for joining us here
All
tonight. All right, folks, Benjy Lewis, Neville's defensive coordinator. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to finish things up with the head coach, Jeff Tannehill, talking a little bit more about Friday night's matchup versus Westgate. Stay tuned. Here to Tiger Talk, live from Melvin's Restaurant. We'll be right back.
The used car giants are back, and they're crushing the competition, crushing high prices, and crushing bad credit. And they're bringing something even bigger. One-click online purchasing. Visit usedcargiants.com. Choose the car you want from CarTown's huge inventory and buy it with one click.
Hey Neville Tiger Nation, this season if you find yourself feeling a little under the weather, visit Go Family Health on North 18th Street. They cover flu shots, sports physicals, sick visits, annual visits, or if nothing is wrong, they can do your regular checkup. Go Family Health has a happy staff, clean office, and they can take care of all your family's healthcare needs.
This is Tiffany Terra with Go Family Health. We love our Neville Tigers, and we want to thank all of Neville Nation for always supporting Go Family Health.
Let Tenori's own Louisville help you with your special gift needs, offering a wide variety of products to make any Tiger happy. Go visit Tenori's, located at 801 Louisville Avenue, or give them a call at 318-325-4100. That's Tenori's on Louisville. Come by Melvin's Restaurant before and after the game for the best burgers and ribeyes in town. Melvin's Restaurant are proud supporters of the Neville Tigers and are home to Tiger Talk with Jeff Tannehill every Wednesday night. Come by Melvin's Restaurant, located on 1128 Oliver Road in Monroe, or call them at 318-325-2055. That's Melvin's Restaurant in Monroe.
Having back trouble? Well, Dr. Scott Martinez at Martinez Chiropractic may be able to help you out. Why don't you give him and his friendly staff a call, 654-4310, to set up your next chiropractic appointment. Martinez Chiropractic is located at 1828 Tower Drive in Monroe. Scott Martinez is a former Neville Tiger and supports all of Neville athletes.
The used car giants are bringing something massive to the Twin Cities. One-click online purchasing. Visit usedcargiants.com. Choose the car you want from CarTown's huge inventory and buy it with one click. CarTown, the used car giants.
All right, everybody, welcome back into the final segment here on Tiger Talk. We welcome back Neville head football coach Jeff Tannehill to the chair beside me, and we sat there and listened to Benjy, and it was what a great job he's done for you this year at that defensive coordinator. You know, he's been there for a few years now, and is really
he came on. Coach Thompson was our DC, and I was running the secondary, and he came in and started coaching our D-line. I believe it was either 2011 or 2012 when we won a state championship.
2011,
state championship his first year. So, you know, he's had a good run as DC after Coach Thompson and I, and you know, he does a great job, and our assistant coaches on the defensive side are all knowledgeable. They work extremely hard. You know, Coach Carr, Coach Herndon, man, Coach Campbell. You know, Coach Campbell's my corners man.
He is.
He works those corners hard, and it shows on Friday nights.
Mm-hmm. Well, it definitely does. And we talked about Westgate, and you know, last year. Giving you a lot of not a lot of trouble, but they were a good football team. I mean, it's a solid football team, and that was a quarterfinal matchup. And generally in the 4A playoffs, at least how it's gone for the past few years for Neville, that first round was easy, second round was tougher, but still fairly easy. And the third round was where it started tightening up a little bit, and then until you get to the third round quarterfinals and then the semifinals, obviously, but. This year, that second round matchup, I mean, it's a quarter or really semifinal caliber type team.
Yeah, well, if we played 10 games, this would be a quarterfinal. They would be a 6 or 7 seed. Yeah. With all the power points that they've already gotten, and we'd still be 3 or 4. Excuse me. But the way it fell with 7 games, we didn't either one of us get the PowerPoints we needed, and so we're having to play second round, which that's fine. We're going to have to play them sooner or later. So, we got to play them now, and I'm glad we have them at Bill Ruppel Stadium.
Yeah, definitely. and just a reminder, if you're, there's still a few tickets left, so come out. Really like to see you in there. 100 tickets left. They go on sale at 11 o'clock tomorrow in the ticket office. You can't walk up and buy a ticket. So, that's
right. Friday night, you won't be able to get on the home side. You'll have to get the visitor side tickets, and there should be some available. Also, if we run out of home side tickets, then we should have some available on the other side.
So you try to get there and see this in person. These boys deserve it. So, Westgate defensively, you've what I've seen is guys that just swarm. They like to swarm to the football. Very athletic up front. Maybe not as big on sizes, but they bring a lot of numbers at you.
They definitely do that. They bring lots of pressure. I mean, we've got it on film. 50% of the time they're blitzing.
Yeah.
And so what they try to do with these long, tall defensive ends is they bring them upfield and try to run you inside where they're coming, where they run blitz and that kind of thing. And it's they do a good job. It's a good scheme. Their size on the defensive line is not huge by any means, but their speed is tremendous on defense. Their linebacker number 7, Zion Madison. He's got a lot of offers. He plays downhill and he's a striker. You will see him, hear him. He loves contact and he runs the football well. And then in their secondary they got this Derek Williams. He's been offered by everybody. He's a sophomore. I mean, he looks like Dubose. That's why he's been offered. So he plays the part well. He does a lot of he covers the tailback out of the backfield quite a bit, and he'll line up on their best receiver quite a bit too. So we don't know where he's going to line up at this point.
Yeah.
So, but those two guys are really good on defense, and I'm trying to think. Lost my train of thought. Sorry.
We're in the backfield.
Well, I was going to say, and they have number 17 and number 8, Daniel Heron and Travis Gardner both play some end. They both play linebacker. I mean, that just tells you how athletic they are. They move from end to linebacker. And it's a just kind of an easy move for them. And but they bring pressure from all over. They're going to cause some issues inside when we like to run the football. But, I have a lot of confidence in our offensive line. I mean, Will and Gilberto and Landon and Logan and Kane have all done a great job this year. And who's really improved is Ben Crawford and Wes Robertson at tight ends.
Yeah.
And we'll use them quite a bit this week to get another bigger body in the box to run the football. So, I think our scheme's ready. I think the kids are ready. And, like Coach Herndon said today, he goes, I wish we was playing today. Just having to wait 4 days to play this game. And, I think we're going to have a tremendous effort out of our kids Friday night.
Well, since we implemented these flex days, it's you never know what you're going to get on Wednesdays. But since they did that, the kids not being in school but getting up there, you mentioned it earlier, a good practice yesterday or today, and trying to get that. And you'd like, you've mentioned it throughout the years, liking to see that building throughout the week, and you kind of tell it's playoff time at Bill Ruppel.
And the weather helps a lot too. It's just it's playoffs. It's cold outside. Cool. It's practice. We wear some tights and put some warm-ups on, all that kind of stuff, and it's just a different feeling at practice than any other time of the year. I mean, it's hard to – unless you've been through it, it's just hard to explain it. But the kids know it. The coaches know it. And it just you get a little more at practice. It's just a little more motivation and knowing that, during the playoffs it's either win or go home. So, so this week at practice, typical week, Monday was pretty good. Tuesdays was and Wednesdays was a lot better. So, we went through the whole gamut today, every special team, every, thing that we could do special. So, Wednesdays are a little more upbeat because we're always moving. There's nobody ever standing around. So, today was a lot better, and I was really pleased at the end of the day today. So hopefully that'll carry on into Friday.
Well, tomorrow, Thursday, generally, you walk through, tying up a few little loose ends and making sure you got that. Talking about being the health of the Tigers going into this Friday. You had a few guys that seem to be just kind of just holding off in that first round. Where do we stand with a couple of those guys?
Well, Samari missed last week.
Yeah.
I think he's going to go this week. He's had a couple of days where he moved around pretty good, so hopefully he'll be able to play Friday night or at least give us some reps in there. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of Wheels had a little bit of an ankle. Hinton had 2 or 3 different little nicks and bruises. Yeah. Gilberto and Sorrell are both, getting healthier and healthier. Mm-hmm. I think we're healthy as we can be going into, with what we've had, they've been playing here lately. So I think those kids, and as you get closer to Friday, everything starts to feel better. As you get closer to Friday night. It don't hurt near as bad on game days as it does on Monday.
That's correct. That's correct.
But that's just part of it, and I think we'll be ready to go.
Well, you've got that. And maybe touch on defense. I mean, the bright spot on the offense for Westgate has been, to me, number 6. I mean, he's a 6'6", 220-pound kid. Mm-hmm. It's a junior. And you look down, a lot of these skill guys for Westgate are juniors. I mean, when you talk about the competitive nature, I mean, it's a lot like, your team. That's it's a very solid junior group. Yeah, lots of juniors.
Lots of juniors, a few seniors that get on the field quite a bit. I think a lot of their linemen are seniors, but most of their skill guys are all juniors. Mm-hmm. And, this 13, the Doucette kid, and 6, the Lewis kid. I mean, they're athletes. I mean, they get around on the field. The number 3 is their kick returner. I hate to even try to pronounce this. Latale, I guess.
Latale.
Dedrick Latale.
Latale. There you
go. He's a punt returner. He's a kickoff returner. He's on all. He don't hardly come off the field. They'll use him on offense some, and so he's a really good athlete. And this Amaz Eugene is another. He's just a 10th grader, number 4. Yeah. He's the other kick returner. So they're both dangerous. Try to keep the ball away from them as much as possible. Try not to give up any cheap scores on a special team.
When you go down south, a lot of times a team can have a pretty darn good kicker. Are we looking at this?
Last year they had that kid that kicked it up in the student section on kickoffs. I mean, and when he kicked it, thunk. I mean, you could hear it on the field. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this year the kickers are younger. He does a good job. He makes the short field goals and he kicks it down about the 20. I think he's also their punter. No, I'm sorry, 13's their punter, but. He does a fairly good job. He's not bad at all. But again, I think with Reed and Burkhalter, I think our punting and kicking, we've got a little edge there with those guys. But all depends on how the ball bounces. All that kind of stuff Friday night.
And just something to look for. I mean, I saw. A few times you mentioned 13 as the punter. It's not your typical punter. It's a pretty athletic kid.
Yeah, he's pretty athletic.
And he likes to it doesn't really matter where he is on the field, but he's not afraid to run.
Yeah, well, he's faked it 5 or 6 times this year. Yeah. He takes it, and I think it's just on him. If he sees a opening, he's gone. I know they faked 2 against Turlins. They faked 1 against Assumption the other night. So, that's something that, we'll have to – be prepared for that. We've worked on that today, and when you're playing an athletic team like they are, they remind me a lot of Bastrop, but I feel like they've got a few more athletes than Bastrop.
Yeah.
A little more physical at the line of scrimmage. So we know we're gonna have our hands full trying to cover those guys running all over the field and then tackling them in space. But our guys have done a great job of doing that. Our schedule's really prepared us to play this game Friday night. So we're looking forward to it.
Well, it's going to be a heck of a matchup, folks. And just one more time, remind you, there'll be 100 tickets left to pre-sale at the Tiger ticket office there at Bill Ruppel Stadium. Go pick them up from 11 to 1 tomorrow. That's 11 to 1 tomorrow. Well, Coach Tannehill, good luck this Friday night.
Thank you.
Looking forward to being here next Wednesday and doing this doing this all again. So, every Wednesday night's a great night here during football season at
Melvin's.
Delicious food.
Great service. Annie back there working.
Annie's been working her tail off. She's been here a long time.
Been
here a long time.
Oh, yeah.
But thanks to Melvyn and Diane for hosting us each and every Wednesday night. And, thanks to everybody that helps bring this broadcast to you on Wednesdays and Fridays and everything else. We've got a lot of stuff going on the Neville Tiger Network. We're glad that you are a part of it. So for Will Anders and Coach Tannehill, I'm Stewart Shelby, and we're going to say goodnight here from Melvin's. This has been Tiger Talk right here on the Neville Tiger Network.